Happy Sunday morning, everybody. We're live once again in the SBP. I'm your boy Prime. I'm here with my man 50 Grand. Source, what's good?
What up, bro? What's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing is going on.
Not a football game in sight, huh?
Not a football game in sight. Nah, I don't know. Is the flag still going? I
don't know. I'm out the loop.
You out the loop?
All the way.
Yeah, we don't know what type of weather we getting. People crying about, scared it's gonna snow. It ain't gonna snow. Please do it. Don't do it. Bring on weather. People complaining about everything from sports to entertainment. Just everything, man. So it's nothing going on, even though there's a lot going on. So
right,
yeah. So that's why I figured today. I said, look, let's just jump in here, touch base with the people. And we can talk about whatever. So nothing is off the table. I don't care if it's sports related, non-sports related. It can be hip hop, country music. I don't care. Let's just talk about something. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do
Everybody in the chat, come up with something. We can answer a question, talk about that too. We can talk about TV. I don't care. But I'm gonna get this coffee in me and we just can spin it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Did I tell you about this book? Did I ever tell you about this book that I got?
Which book is that? I can't see.
This book is called First Things First.
Okay.
One of the people that follow me on TikTok, I don't know who it was, but they sent this to me with no name.
Uh-huh.
I remember somebody mentioning this book a while back and asked me had I heard of it. I said no, but it's First Things First, hip hop ladies who changed the game. So it's got Latifah, Megan, Lauren, Missy, Angie Martinez, and Cardi B on the front. Mentioned Gangsta Boo and April Walker. Like, it's dope. I appreciate it. Whoever sent it to me, I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
Sounds dope. You had a chance to crack it open?
Yeah. I haven't. You know why? I can't crack that open until I crack open the Black Thought book that my father-in-law gave me. Yeah, my father-in-law got this joint for me for Christmas. And I've read 2 pages of it. I've read 2 pages. So I can't get to the second book till I get into this book first.
You was like me with the Gardeners Eden joint. When the Garden was eating the Knicks book, and then had the Oakley joint.
Yeah.
And I wanted so bad to reach into the Oakley joint, but at that time I hadn't finished the Knicks book, the 90s joint. So I feel you. I don't do that with it. The crazy thing is with books, I'm pretty diligent about that, not starting something else. TV shows, another matter. I'll mess around and claim I'm gonna get into this series right here. Or it'd be like a Netflix joint with like 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I might get to about episode 6 or 7. And then the new joint come out, and I'm convinced in my mind that, I'm gonna check that out too when I'm finished what I'm watching. And then I end up on social media or I hear somebody talking about, man, y'all got to see this show. I didn't think it was gonna be that good. I mean, I ain't finished out this show yet. And I end up starting that other show. So before I know it, I got like 3 shows. I might be on episode 7 in one show, episode 3 in another show. New joint pop up. I might end up watching 4 episodes of that, so I get an episode ahead of the other show that I'm watching. Was already watching. So you got to go back and tie up a bunch of loose ends. I'll be like, darn you Netflix, darn you Hulu, so. That's
how they get you.
Yeah, man. You watched I know you watched the All-Star Fest tonight.
I did. I watched. Yeah.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched pretty much everything. I watched Friday night. Friday night I watched the celebrity game because I'm what's the word? Not addicted to, but obsessed with, I guess. Obsessed with celebrity all-star sports. I love it. I think it's hilarious to see famous people who aren't necessarily athletic, or some are athletic, playing sports. And I always wanted to be in a celebrity game, but I never became a celebrity to be in a celebrity game. So, that kind of got in the way. But yeah, I didn't watch the Rising Stars. I just watched the All Star, the celebrity game on Friday.
Yeah, I missed the Rising Stars. I did watch the Celebrity All Star, and I'll be honest with you, with the amount of true athletes they had in this game,
Yeah,
it was
was
probably the most competitive one. Like, realistic, because we were used to having Jones, Kevin Hart, and all these. And Jones are funny and fine, but you see some of these like NFL players, especially. Of course, we saw Micah get down and win the MVP. But man, I was super impressed with Puka Nacua.
Yes, sir.
You talk about athleticism at its finest, bro. You know what I'm saying? He threw down a couple, got him some steals. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching this one.
Yeah, he said he could hoop, though. He meant that. So
everybody said they can hoop, but he actually like he can hoop.
I guess shout out to Pat McAfee, who was supposed to be playing in the game, and Puka said, "Oh man, I wanted to play," and Pat McAfee gave him his spot, so Puka ended up getting to play. And but yeah, he was throwing that thing down. Like he threw that joint down off one step, two step. Like he didn't even care.
Oh,
Michael was out there being a bully. Like he won't. When it started, I was like, he can't even hoop for real. He wanted them run you over type people, but he actually had a little bit of game though. Mm-hmm. He had the left hand. He did the spin move and the left-handed lay, and yeah, he did a couple things that showed some actual basketball skill too.
For sure. I had a good time watching it. Before we continue the convo, I'm gonna jump in early and give some of the people a shout out. Everett was good. Matter of fact, Everett says, let's see what he got. Watching NASCAR today. I got Hamlin for the win, Logan in the top 5. I can dig it. Steph won last night. And Incel's whining about, we gonna talk about Sabrina today. Use the WNBA regulation ball. We're gonna talk about her and a couple other people. McClung repeats the slam dunk competition. Of course, that's gonna come up, and give the trophy to Brown, and to try to get a trophy to Brown with his lame dunks. We definitely getting into that. Caesar, good morning. Caesar says that. So Caesar, what's postponed? NASCAR? They postponed NASCAR? Is that what you're talking about? I didn't see that.
Shout out to the Manchester Lancer grad, L4L, Denny Hamlin.
Word up.
Just because.
Oh yeah. Speaking of your Lancers, I'll give a quick shout out to my boy KO. Is going to be he's moving over from Hopewell to coach the offensive line over there. So he got the gig, back at his home. I think it's Manchester Lancer too. So shout out to my man, the party animal himself.
KO.
Yeah, Caballo. You probably see him a lot with Big Net. Be promoting parties and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he got the gig over there at Manchester. What else I got? Shout out to my fam. Bobby, what's good? Let's talk about drinking some beer today. Have a blessed day, my brothers. You do the same. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to be about it, because beer is get drank.
Beer is life. Life is beer.
Yeah, for me, that's what it's going down. You know what I'm saying? So you already know, man. Love you, brother. We got the people in full. Okay, I like this. Let's see what else we got out here. It's your man's Pook. What's going on, my man? No doubt. Peace to the gods for the podcast.
What you doing, Todd?
Yeah. No doubt, man. It's good people right there, man. No doubt. Appreciate you tapping in with us, man. Bobby said, you don't watch no damn NASCAR. I ain't gotta tell all my business, Bobby. I mean, we family and everything. I pay attention enough. I'm not going to the NASCAR every time he come to Richmond and nothing like that, but I pay enough attention. So I will admit that 3 out of the last 4 times I got tickets, which were free every time. I did sell the tickets. So we want
hustler, baby.
It's easy, man. If you know anything about Richmond and the tickets, I'm sure it's like that in every state. If you got NASCAR tickets you're trying to get rid of, you just got to drive near where the racetrack is.
Yep.
You might not even gotta get close to the racetrack. You can go about 3 miles on the straightaway leading to the racetrack. People out there looking for tickets. So
Absolutely.
you can avoid getting caught up in all the traffic. Because when the joints is sold out and they gone, listen, I'm just gonna go down here. Hey, what's up? Oh, you want? All right, 25 a piece. 50 piece. All right, bet. And they be your best friend for life, bro. Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
shout out to the NASCAR diehards. I'm not even gonna front. Shout out to the NASCAR diehards in effect out there. They camping out a day or two before the event. I mean, they go hard. I don't think they get the respect they deserve. So it's like we always talk about these people tailgating and stuff in front of these football games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever been around the racetrack the day before. Man, they got mobile homes, campers, everything, just doing their thing, drinking beer, cooking, having great fellowship. I don't think that the NASCAR lovers get the respect they deserve.
I've definitely heard about it. I ain't never seen it. I don't ever plan on seeing it. So I'm just have to keep hearing the stories. I'll accept that.
So you don't go with Northside much, do you?
Not on race days.
I don't race. Yeah, you want to stay away from there anyway because that traffic is crazy too. I respect anybody go hard for their love and their love of a sport, man, or whatever it is. So it ain't got to be my thing 100%, but I respect the game and I respect the fans.
If I was a race car fan, a NASCAR fan, and I was going, I'd either drive close and get an Uber the rest of the way, or I'd just take an Uber from the crib, and because everybody drinking, so you might as well just Uber it on back to the crib as well.
Caesar says, tailgate must be when you get drunk. You're so drunk you don't care that you're going in circles 500 times. Come on, Caesar.
I thought that was the best part, Caesar. That's not.
That's what people want to see.
That's what they lap 297.
Don, good morning. G Money. Hey, G, stay tuned, bro. I know you got your joint rocking, but Source and I are gonna be talking some hip hop on Know the Ledge here soon enough, within the coming weeks or months. And if you want to jump in to talk about some classics, Illmatic, stuff like that, we want you to come through, Big G, if you got time for your boys. No doubt. But yeah, man, the All-Star joint, man, last night I was watching with one of my sons, man, and we was in there tripping off of everything, man. I do like the way they did the because they kind of changed the skills competition up a little bit every year. The props seem to get better and better. I thought whoever was handling said props did a good job with all of the moving, the moving parts and the throw the ball through the O or the 0-0, whatever it was. I thought that was great, man. I thought that was great.
I don't know if I love the skills challenge like I used to. I think I liked it better when it was every man for himself, run the joint, come back up, go back up. Yeah, I don't know if I love it as much as I did in the past. I do like them. I like the half court shot, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. I get that they're trying to find things or make things more interesting to the general public. And I'm not. It's not a big enough concern for me to be like, oh, take it away, do something different. It ain't that serious. It's just part of All-Star Weekend. So.
Yeah, I'm with you, and it's time for my yearly request. We need to get the women more involved again. Bring back the women. Give me one female in the skills competition. If you're gonna do the group thing or whatever, that's what you want to do. Hey, get a WNBA player in there with you, and as part of it. And if you want to represent the city, what I was surprised on. Speaking of which, it was in Indiana last night.
Mm-hmm.
They did not find a way to get Aaliyah Boston involved in the All-Star festivities last night.
Right.
I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
Big star, one of the biggest stars that we have in the women's game. Rookie of the year. All eyes gonna be on them this year because I think they have the first pick in the WNBA draft. You found a way to get them involved, man. You got to get her involved some kind of way. I don't know what it would be, but get her involved.
They'll be involved next year once they scoop up Caitlin Clark. If she comes up, then she'll be in the 3-point contest.
Must see TV.
Yeah.
Must see TV. I bet some of y'all non-WNBA watchers gonna watch then. Yeah. So
If only to be negative.
yeah, you already know. What do you think about the Sabrina and Steph joint?
All right.
Let it fly.
Why are y'all like that? Why are y'all like that? Like, what is wrong with y'all's life? Like, my life ain't great. Like, I got an all right life. My life is okay, but my life ain't great. But I don't find a way to be this negative, this crazy, this ridiculous. Like, at the beginning, before it even started, Sabrina was going to shoot from the 3-point line. Steph was going to shoot from the NBA line because that's the leagues that they play in. That's the leagues that they play in. She plays in the WNBA, so why wouldn't she shoot threes from the WNBA line? But as soon as they announced it, people started crying. So she said, no, I'll shoot from the 3-point line, the NBA 3-point line. She shoots. She gets the same score as the highest score any man got outside of Steph Curry last night. In the first round, the overtime, and the final round, she got the same score as the highest score of any man.
Uh-huh.
But she lost to Steph Curry. Yet, you still have people like, well, she was shooting with a WNBA ball. Why would you expect her to shoot with an NBA ball? What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Like, it's so many problems with, and Kenny Smith won't help him. I don't know what is. Here's the thing about Kenny Smith. In theory, he, in my mind, he thought that he was being like helpful. He was being deep. Like, oh no, she should be able to shoot from the regular 3-point line. Apparently, he didn't know the controversy that had already come from her, at first when she was going to shoot from the women's 3-point line. Then he kept talking about it. Then you got Reggie over here. Oh, well, why you acting like that? Now, both of them over here fighting to see who can be the worst. That's what it was. They was fighting to see who could be the most ridiculous at the same time. If somebody would have had a meeting, maybe had a woman in there, maybe had a woman from the WNBA in there, whatever pre-show meetings they had, there was no women in that joint. It couldn't have been, because half of the stupid stuff that was unnecessary that was being said would not have been said. It was so stupid, and we gotta do better, man. And they ain't like these are young dudes. They ain't 23. These dudes is 50 plus.
Yeah.
And you still be a stupid. You can't be stupid in public, like in front of the world. Like, what example are you setting for anybody? It was crazy, though. Crazy. Shout out to Sabrina Ionescu, though. She got busy, and she probably would have shot with a men's ball if it was necessary. But why would it be necessary?
No problem.
She doesn't play in the NBA. Like, what is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? Anyway, I'm done.
You shouldn't be surprised, though, because you knew it was going to be something before we got to. It's going to be something.
Of course.
It's just, and it's sad, man. It's sad. It's just sad. What you see online with some of these comments when we're talking about sports in general, but definitely anything involving the women, just tell me it's a lot of unhappy people out here and unhappy lives. Just tell me a lot about them. You know what I'm saying?
You know what it say? I'm sorry, Prime. You know what it says?
What?
Dudes don't like women. Men don't like women. That's generally the case. Men probably tolerate women or want women for whatever they want them for, but men don't like women. That's what it is. Dudes don't like women. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'm done. I ain't say nothing else.
Yeah, I'm glad she showed out, though. She showed up and she showed out even though she didn't win it, because she catches a lot of heat in WNBA circles too. But that ain't so much just the men. That's more of unfortunately, it's a lot of black and white going on. And then how you feel about certain things with her. And I've always I caught some heat in one of the groups last year for defending her, right? And I don't care. You know me. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just glad she showed up and showed out. And lost in all of this is the fact that she has admitted that that's her guy. That is the guy she looks up to. It's two people that she talked about the most all the time with Kobe and Steph, right? So to her, it was just like a dream come true. I made it. I'm successful in college basketball. I made it to the WNBA. I'm having some success there, and now I actually not only get to meet. Well, she probably met him before, but I get to actually compete in a contest with arguably the greatest shooter we've ever seen in the history of this game. I mean, come on, man. There's a bunch of clowns out here, man. It's just a bunch of clowns. Shout out Sabrina, man. I get your comments, which were 100% on point about Kenny Smith. The only thing I will say is not involving this Sabrina thing is, outside of that, which I knew I was on that Fred set, but you big dummy. I take it, I don't think you was enjoying the commentary at all, period. Am I correct? Like through the whole joint? Because I'll be honest with you, I thought it was kind of funny. I thought him and Reggie were kind of funny together outside of that 3-point situation stuff.
Yeah, I just thought that they were like kind of just wrong about a bunch of stuff. Just right. even when it gets to the dunk contest, which we'll talk about, I just feel like what they were saying was just wrong. There was nothing wrong with what they were saying. I just feel like it was a bad take. They just had a bunch of bad takes.
Well, speaking of wrong, well, first, it was one of them did mention, I feel like it was Kenny. They talked about next year, of course, and they found a way to get Caitlin Clark. They do the same thing, get Caitlin Clark in this contest. And that, as you were saying, you kind of like the individual stuff in the skills competition. Now, this is one of those things that I would kind of like to do a double up, maybe. I would love to see maybe Sabrina and Caitlin, if she leaves, which we're pretty sure she's leaving, and they end up together maybe in a competition of maybe 2-on-2, maybe shooting threes. I'm with that. I'm definitely with that. I don't know. Steph had to pick his partner, I guess. Had to be somebody who could really let it fly. So maybe they do a 2-on-2 competition. And however they want to do that, mix it up, ladies against men, or one of the ladies, maybe Sabrina and Steph together, against Caitlin and whoever the other male participant would be. I think that would be hard.
Women against men, man. Women
against men?
Yeah. It doesn't, regardless of how they do it, it's gonna be
something, right?
It's gonna be a problem. Like if Sabrina would have won, those same people that had something to say previously would have just said, well, I saw it before they even did it. They said, oh, Steph just gonna throw it. He's gonna throw it. You think that Steph Curry is going to throw this is how stupid people are. You think Steph Curry is going to lose something on purpose. That's how you know the difference between professional athletes and regular people. The fact that you think Steph Curry is going to lose a shooting contest on purpose, and if the woman would have won, that's what you were going to say. That just shows how ridiculous people are. People, just so stupid.
Well, so when we talk about being wrong was unfortunate, and what's going on in some of these other groups too is the way people are taking it for obvious reasons. So when it pertains to Caitlin Clark, do you hear the comments that Cheryl Swoop made about Caitlin Clark? What she also said.
Yeah. She was wrong.
Reach to people going over the top with it without listening to the whole interview. Yeah, she was wrong. But the idea that she was hating, is that what I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Like you have to listen to the whole interview. So what's coming out is people, and one, I'm not even gonna call her out, but it's this one young lady because she does her things, her podcast or whatever. But we slightly got into it, and I don't even try to comment in these groups too much, but I just tried to make a point that listen to the whole interview instead of these bits and snippets. She's coming back with, I don't have to listen to anything. When you flat out try to demean a player and you do this and you do that, and I'm like, okay, she was wrong. But did you listen to the whole interview? Right. And this is when I know I had her, because because she said, yeah, but they should have said something about Angel Reese. Y'all would have been this and that. I said, okay, well, you understand. She's made comments about Angel Reese too. Okay. And how her game would translate to the next level. But folks ain't want to listen to the whole interview either. They just automatically, she's hating. She's giving an honest assessment, which she may or may not be right on. But that's not right or wrong. But she's one of the most accomplished basketball players in the history of basketball. Okay. She's coached. She's done it all. She can make what she feels is a fair assessment. But just because she was wrong, she got that part wrong. When we're talking about eligibility, she was automatically hating and disgusting, and she was this. And this is what we live in. This is the world we live in. I keep telling you, it's just horrible. We don't listen to people. We hear what we want to hear. We take the bits and pieces we want to hear. Refuse to try to find out the whole truth, but we just go off the rails, automatically. They don't ever want to hear the part where she straight out and said, I don't know if it was that interview or another one. They said, don't get it twisted that Caitlin Clark is a baller, right? But people just take what they want to hear, and all type of stuff just coming out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's some dumb people out
here. Yeah, when you don't listen to a person talk more than in a short blurb, then you don't know how they normally operate.
Yeah,
Sheryl Swoop's gonna be like, they ain't us. That's pretty much what it is. They ain't us. It ain't nothing about Caitlin Clark specifically. It is players today are not us. That's the difference. Yeah. Y'all must not know who I am. That is what.
Oh, they don't. It's some people. It's some people in one of the WNBA groups. More than one. Type. Who is Sheryl Swoops?
Yeah.
Bro.
Exactly.
Oh, you got encyclopedia. You got wiki. Look it up and get back to me. I bet you won't
Google.
comment again.
Google is your friend.
Yeah. Arguably, some people will argue that she is the best women's basketball player they ever seen. She definitely has the argument for the most accomplished. If you look at the totality of her career is ridiculous.
And she was deemed the woman version of Michael Jordan.
Got her own shoe. Well, all y'all did. Like the real deal. Look it up. Then we had we had all of that, bro. We had the Dame in the 3-point competition, repeating again.
That was good, man. They were shooting.
I like how he threw that comment in there at the end. He was kind of jabbing, talking about he felt he could get away with a few things because I guess some of the other players got away with a few things that he noticed.
Yeah, Cat Bigfoot on the line.
Fun jab. I mean, Cat all on the line with his big feet.
He wasn't even. It ain't like he was barely on the line. He was all the way on the line. I was like, golly, that's against the rules, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I enjoyed it, though. We had 4 players come out with 26 off top, and then the fact that Dame had the way he won it with that last shot. I'm like,
I mean, he set himself up for that, Joe. He missed the first 4.
Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed that, man. It was a good competition to watch there. So always one of my faves.
Yeah.
And then we get down to the slam dunk competition, of course. Mac McClung comes out and repeats. And there were a lot of comments on social media about that, and rightfully so, because I'm trying to figure out what they were seeing when they were judging some of this stuff. Like, I do believe they gave Jaylen Brown that last score just because they were just trying to make it climatic at the end. So Mac would really have to go out there and do something to get a high score. Because ain't no way in the world that last dunk, me personally, for Jaylen Brown was I might give you 48. I might 48 even, 47.8. There's no way, bro.
I have all right, like again, it's not, I don't care enough about this. It's not important enough to be like, oh, do away with it, blah, 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 whatever. However, I don't know what kind of grading scale we working with. Nothing last night was spectacular. Like, it was a bunch of good stuff, and even the Mac McClung when he threw the joint up. And in this realm, in the way they were scoring, they could have gave that a 50 or a 49. But
Mhm.
none of this stuff was like super spectacular, even for now. Imagine comparing this and the scoring to any other time frame of dunk contest and the scoring. You got a 50 when it was crazy. You got a 50 when it was special, when it was different. But also, I will never get over the fact that if you don't do it the first time, then I'm looking at you crazy. Not looking at you crazy, but it's not the same. If you try it and you get it wrong and then do it again and get it right, you can't get a 50, bro. Like I know the rule, you got to look at them as separate things, but you can't have a 50 if you have to try it more than once, and you can't get a 50 if you dunk it and it's not clean.
Mm.
Max last joint or the next to last joint, that joint was not clean. It wasn't a 50. But I'm like,
Yeah,
dog, that's a mighty high score for that dunk, and it wasn't bang. If you don't dunk it clean, then what's the point?
I got you. And I agree. I agree. This is something my son and I were talking about last night. My feelings, it should have been Toppin and McClung. And Toppin's joints were crazy. So they looked a whole lot different when you got to break them down. Like when they went in slow motion and you actually looked at the dunks,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, that ain't look like that. It was nice dunks, but it ain't looking as spectacular until you watch them in slow motion. Like, oh, okay, that might have been a little bit better than I thought. But that was my thoughts exactly. I thought Toppin was more impressive in the early rounds than Jaylen Brown. That's my personal.
Well, but Toppin's in G League, right?
Well, he's with the Knicks right now, so he's on a two-way.
I thought he said it was two G League.
Well, he does classify because you get those two-way contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's with the Knicks right now because, of course, as you know, the last 3 weeks they've basically been playing without
struggle.
Yeah, bro. They filled 8 players a few nights ago, and one of them got hurt, and that's when Hardenstein got hurt. So they won a whole quarter and a half with 7 players. So they they played. Brunson was in the mix, missing games.
Mm-hmm.
So they played about 3 games at least with nothing but bench and a couple of G Leaguers on the squad. And how they sit in 4th place after all that, after these last 3 weeks, I have no idea. But anyway, yeah, he would classify as a G League guy.
Yeah, so they didn't want to have the NBA dunk contest with 2 G Leaguers in the final. That would look crazy.
Why they care about everything else? Just do it.
And shout out to Jaylen Brown. Like, I don't care what his score was. The fact that he was willing to be in the dunk contest. Now, I'm not acting like he's a superstar, but most stars, even of his caliber, are not getting in the dunk contest these days. One, it's two reasons for me. Probably really the same thing. Nobody wants to affect their brand. They feel like it will be bad for my brand if I don't win.
Uh-huh.
And nobody wants to lose in general. Nobody wants to be the loser. It's a bunch of sucker stuff. It's a bunch of sucker stuff, for real. That's all it is. But that's where we are. So shout out to Jaylen Brown for even getting in the joint.
Yeah, the only thing I probably really got to say about it is I will give Mac McClung this, and we were studying it last night. Those last 2 dunks, especially that last one when he dunked over 7'1" Shaq, right? He gets up and does those dunks, not needing any support from the person he's jumping over on the shoulder, anything like that.
Yeah, none of that.
So I had to give it love. I got to give it love. Guy that his height, getting up like that, needing no support, and still getting a decent dunk in. I'm gonna show that love. Definitely got to show that love.
Yeah, I think you can appreciate that. I think you can appreciate it being a shorter person dunking. Plus, it looks sweeter when it's a shorter person dunking than a taller person. Anyway, you don't get the not dunk it clean though. I'm not giving you not dunking it clean and not dunking on the first try. If you out here, it's because you know you can dunk and it's not a problem, or you wouldn't be here in the first place. So I don't know. I hear you though.
Yes, for you.
Hey, I ain't mad at the league. I ain't mad at the league, but I am mad at the way these dudes kind of approach these things. You know, that's Pook, ain't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew. Yeah, I'm not mad at the league, but yeah, the way they approach this thing, I'm not necessarily uh loving it. I'm not loving it.
Hey, good morning, Ant he's still hung over from last Sunday.
Is he still talking about the Chiefs?
Well, no, he hadn't said anything about the Chiefs yet. He talking about basketball and the dunk contest
Oh,
and all that stuff. But you know he gotta shout his boys out of here at some point or another.
of course.
He probably he's still intoxicated from last Sunday, and I ain't mad at it. I am not mad at it. Hey, slide this in real quick. We were talking about the ladies though. We can't talk about the ladies and not give Caitlin Clark her props for breaking that record though.
Oh yeah,
We definitely cannot do that. That was phenomenal. And I got to give her love because if you heard her comments, she hit that joint from deep.
that was the best part.
And they interviewed her and they said, "Oh, why would I not?" She said her whole intention was to break the record pretty much from the logo. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I not shoot it from the logo?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I do.
And so, yeah. And shout out to Angel Reese being the class act because you know how people gonna play this. They can't let Steph go. Gonna have stuff to say later in the season. But congratulate Caitlin Clark. Keep breaking records and making her story, which people up in the air about that because they got to put her instead of his. And but shout out and I respect to Angel for being a class act on this.
Yeah. Got to show love. She said that's not that's my girl or anything, but we cool. We've been playing against each other for years, so it ain't nothing new.
Look, so it is 3P
coming soon.
Coming soon, and follow up with that's here we go. That's all I'm saying about KC. Get yours off, man. Get yours off. But back to the one I just had. Can Clark win a title? In the back, well, a lot of teams can win a title. Do I believe that Iowa is going to win a title this year? I don't. I don't. But that's what March is for. That's what March is for. Teams go on runs on. I don't know if their run will be improbable because they're one of the best teams in the country. But looking at the way that they match up with probably I would say definitely four, maybe five of the top 12 teams in the country. I just don't like some of the matchups.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put it on. That's not to say that they can't get to the Final Four. I'm not. That's possible. That is very possible. But there's some teams out there that I think could give them a problem. That will give them a problem. But then again, it's only one game. Each time when you step on the court, it's a one-game tournament. But they got some things. They have some things to some big mountains to climb if they won't win a title.
Yeah, some of us might have said something similar when it came to Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. It's that one person against whatever. In that case, the one person made it to the promised land and came back with the prize. So it's not like Clark wasn't or Iowa wasn't in the finals last year. So chances are, it's possible. It's possible. We're gonna see though. We still got another month to go.
Let me ask your honest opinion. Tell me how you feel about it since we dipped in the Kansas City pool real quick. One of the homies told me, and he a hater anyway, but I ain't talking about him. I call him a hater all the time to his face, but told me that I made too much of a big deal about the comments I made Monday night about the fact that two of the gentlemen for the Kansas City Chiefs that had contributed to some of the issues that they had scored touchdowns in the Super Bowl, the biggest game ever. He told me I was making too much of that. So of course, I'm talking about McCole Hardman, who actually caught the game winner, And he had a pretty big catch early in the game, even though they ended up fumbling away, right? And of course, the fact that MVS scored, and what was it? Was it the third quarter or whenever it was?
Yeah, third quarter. Yep.
So he told me, yeah, man, they on the team. You're making too much of a big deal about it. And I'm like, I just thought it was kind of a big deal because when we're talking about some of the issues that they had during the season pertaining to drops, pertaining to fumbling the ball inside the 5-yard line, things of that nature, guys came up big on the big stage.
You know, now not Hardman. MVS was uncovered and wide open. He was uncovered and wide open. All he had to do was catch the ball. So it ain't like he made some spectacular play. But he was the one that caught the ball. You can't take the touchdown away from him. I ain't saying he did anything special to get it, but you can't take it away from him because he made the play. He did.
So MVS though, even without the touchdown, even with that touchdown, right? Yeah, he was uncovered, but we see a lot of people uncovered. But he got to give him props for what he ran too. You know, you might say, well, you take a juke step in, then you come out and you go here. Go back and watch it. He ran it clean.
Did he beat somebody?
It's clean. So to sell it. So his part of the sale.
Yeah.
His part of the sale. You know, we can just say, well, anybody can run out. But you see that people try to run that all the time and don't get off as clean. So he scored.
I mean, I get the hater, whoever it is. I get the hater. I get what they're saying about MVS. Yeah, Hardman had the big catch. And, you know, you can't be mad at it. I'm not mad at either of them. Like, they both made the plays that they made. They made the plays that they made. Like, I get it. I understand, but they made.
To me, it just says a lot. Like I said, it says a lot to me about them sticking with their guys. I don't know if it's going to be how much it's going to be next year, which I actually can see both of them coming back. I mean, I'm still getting some out of it, but to me, it just hits a little different when it's not Travis Kelce. You know what I'm saying? It hits a little different. So it is what it is. What else is out there? Oh, we were talking about this last night. Do you know who Jonathan Goldsmith is?
No.
The most interesting man in the world, Dos Equis.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Goldsmith is known by most because he's the most interesting man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 90% of the people that watch those commercials don't realize that he's an actor. Some of the accomplished actors. He's appeared in over 300 some odd TV show appearances over the years. A lot of the stuff in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. I mean, man, Gunsmoke, Magnum PI, Rockford Files, Murder, She Wrote. But it list goes on, a ton of commercials, but he's known for that. And anybody in the comments, you can answer this too. But I wanted to ask you, so he's the most interested man in the world. So we take Jonathan Goldsmith out of it, right? To you, pertaining to sports, a sports figure, I should say, who is the most interesting man in the world?
Shaq.
Huh? My man, 50 grand.
That's easy. I mean, that's automatic. First person that came to my head anyway.
It's the Diesel. Man, my son and I had a good time talking about this last night while we were watching it. It's got to be Shaq. It has got to be Shaquille O'Neal. We're not talking about just the crazy NBA career, the 4 championships or the 15 All-Star appearances. But the dude, I mean, he's an actor, a rapper. He's had rap albums. He's produced, he's helped produce, music and still does today because he's a DJ. As a party DJ. This dude he's on what else is he? He's an investor. You know what I'm saying?
The Papa John's dude.
Papa John's dude. GE
Apple. The General.
He has a relationship with Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? This is the guy that people don't know or might have forgotten that all the athletes, you and I growing up, you remember how significant it was when the athletes ended up on the Wheaties box.
Yeah.
And it's tons of them. If you were a good athlete, you might have made the Wheaties box. If you were in the Olympics and you did work, you was on the Wheaties box. This is the guy that went to the people and they offered them a huge endorsement for Wheaties and told them, I can't do it. And do you know why he told me he couldn't do
it? No.
Because he loves Frosted Flakes. So Shaq, right? Shaq said, no, Frosted Flakes is my brand. We'll stick with them. No.
I can see that.
Yeah, like video games, bro. This guy's been on video games. He had the Shaq Fu video game. Mm-hmm. He was they made him an unplayable character. I think it had to be unlocked, but on Rated Rumble 2, he was on the UFC joint. He was in another Black Hawk Down joint. Like the list goes. I've seen this man try to go skiing, buses behind. You know what I'm saying? Karate. Like Shaq's the most interesting man in the world when it comes to athletes.
He the popo.
The popo. Yep. My son said they was a deputy. So he was a what they call it? You call a backup police officer first, and then he got deputized. You know, like he's followed his love and his passion for everything that he wants to do in this sport and outside the sport. You got to respect it. Yeah. Sure. Kazam, there you go. Kazam. Somebody said we are getting
Blue Chips.
Yeah, Blue Chips, which we did on Run It Back, our movie series, which will have a few new ones coming up here in the coming weeks. Shaq is undoubtedly the most interesting man in the world. We have a Shaq's Big Chicken restaurant coming here.
Sound about right.
Shaq doing his thing, man.
And
so
he's a TNT NBA analyst. Can't forget that.
Yeah, doing what he does. Let me see what else we got in here. What's up, Doc? Can we rock? You know, and then like I said, we talk about his basketball accomplishments, the multiple, not just the championships, but the multiple places his jersey's retired.
True.
LSU retired his jersey. What was it? LSU was 33. Lakers, the Heat.
You got 32, 33, and 34.
Yep. 32. Yeah, how many? You see that, Chuck? He was one jersey number retired. You know what I'm saying? I got 4 jerseys. Beautiful numbers. We had fun with that last night. We was equating everything to a Shaq and Chuck argument. We were in there dying laughing last night during the All-Star joint. So he said we was in there talking about PC Shaq and Chuck arguing. He said, see, Mac, the jersey made for me. Boy, put me in the count. You ain't never done that. You never done that, Chuck. Then your boy Chuck be in that joint. Shaq, you ain't never been to no Gate City. Well, you ain't never been there. Yeah, I'm gonna be there next week. We put a new restaurant on his block where he should shoot basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like that joke would be crazy. Like the arguments between the two of them would be crazy, man. But yeah, Shaq is definitely the most accomplished athlete, the most interesting, I should say, athlete in the world, in my opinion. Somebody said Dennis Rodman.
Now, Dennis Rodman's name popped in my head as well. Just interesting person, but yeah, it's not close. It's not close, I don't think.
So how many points you give for smashing Madonna? I don't know.
There's no good answer. There's no good answer to that question.
No good answer. So it's like, why, Prime? Why? It's Sunday night. Like, why?
Whatever I say is not going to be the right answer. So don't say anything.
Oh, so he's a difference. In the comments, somebody said he's a different type of interesting.
Kim Jong-un, that's his man.
Man, speaking of, if it was one person on TV, non-athlete, that you wish you had, if you would love to have had their job, who would it be? Mine is easy. My person attended the All-Star festivities.
Person on TV. An actor you're talking about?
It can be anybody. It can be anybody outside of sports.
You don't want to be Lil
Yeah,
Wayne. Oh, you want to be Common?
Nah. Like, Common's roster. Now, having Common's roster, that's
Common.
different. That's different.
Common is the rap version of Derek Jeter. Okay, but Derek Jeter, well, that's probably pushing it. But yeah, Derek Jeter, like this whole it's crazy. Anyway, I don't know.
Oh no, who got this right here?
Snoop's personal blunt roller.
I can dig it. I'd like to be Guy Fieri back. I'd have his job.
Yeah.
Man, let me tell you, so this man worth millions. In the past, 10, 12 years, he's had about 5 shows on the Food Network. They keep paying this guy. And he's got 2 of them currently running now with Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, which has been here in Richmond at least 4 times.
Yeah, a few times, yeah.
Yeah, at least 4, maybe 5 times. I think about it because they had ZZQ on there. So maybe 5 times. And, I love that. But Guys Grocery Games, which is also a personal favorite of mine, get down. But this man getting major green. He going around riding state to state, watching people make their food and taste it. You get to travel, you get to eat. You feel me? And you get a bank. He is worth so much money. He's gotten so much money from this food game, it's ridiculous. I would love to be Guy, man. Or have his job, I should say that.
I can't even think of nobody who I would want to be. I can't think of nobody whose career I would want to have. Yeah, because I started thinking about different stuff, and it's probably not relevant to the question what you're asking. I don't even know. But that's a good one.
Yes, I don't know so much I would want to be him, but that's the job I would like that. Get paid like he get paid. Because what you find out in the game with Guy is, if you watch a lot of food television like I do, there are tons of people doing what he does.
Mm-hmm.
But the first person you think of when you talk about this is Guy. You very rarely think about the other people unless you're just a diehard Food Network person. You know what I'm saying? Or some of the guys they got like that on the cooking channel or whatever. Yeah, Guy's a man. So
gotta respect it.
Got to respect it, man. And y'all got any comments or questions or something you want us to answer? We ain't gonna be able to for so much longer.
Topics, anything.
Topics, anything. We throw this up there so while we mixing football in and out of it. So we don't have to get deep into all the specifics. We briefly touched on it the other night when we were talking about the Super Bowl. But Brady and Mahomes at 28 years of age. If you were putting a number on where you think the conversation really starts as far as Mahomes being the GOAT, how many more Super Bowls you think? Because we was talking to Maurice Anthony and we were talking about it, and he said, I don't know if he's going to have to get to 6 or 7. And I agreed based on some other things. But just curious, what do you think the conversation really starts? At what trophy?
I mean, the conversation can start whenever, but for the conversation to actually be real, it's got to be 6. I got 6. 5 sounds good. You can say 5 by 30, but I mean, I'm always be like, if his career ended today, is this the same thing? Like, are you saying this is the same as this?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe so 5. Maybe I can see 5.
That's
5.
my number. That's my number. I think you have to sprinkle in the MVPs that Mahomes had at this. If you're taking the first part of the career, You know, so you look at this number here and you see each with 3 trophies, but Mahomes did have the MVPs. I think too is what gets lost in this conversation though with Tom Brady is we marvel at the second part or the ending part of Tom Brady's career, you know, that he won. So he was great and he had a little stretch in the middle and he came back and won again. You see what I'm saying? So that's what made him really Tom Brady. You know, the fact that late in his career he could still win Super Bowls in New England, and then what he did when he went over to Tampa Bay and won that Super Bowl when he wasn't quite so young anymore. So we have to take that in, you know, put that into perspective, you know, and take that in as well. But for me, yeah, the number is definitely 5 when I'm really, really looking at it real hard. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's definitely in the realm of possibility. That team, you heard Chris Jones just talk about he ain't going nowhere. I'm coming back. So they're going to make, you know, so he's straight now. And you look at that defense, I don't know how many pieces they would lose over the next couple of years, but if you go back to last Super Bowl and then the Super Bowl from last week, it's two youngest defenses to ever win it. You know?
I don't think it even matters for real.
Yeah.
Like, not that it don't matter. Like, you can't just put anybody out there. I'm just saying it don't matter in the fact that whatever happens, he going to be around. And anybody that got to play against him, regardless of who else is on the team, they're going to be like, oh, here come this dude. We've seen him do it with no receivers. We've seen him do it with one receiver and tight end. We've seen him do it with a great defense. We've seen him do it with a decent, you know, okay defense. He done it with 400 yards passing. He's done it with 250. He's done it with 77 yards rushing. He's done it with 2 yards rushing. So think LeBron. Whatever's around LeBron, he's gonna do the most. He's gonna still do what he gonna do, and they always gonna be in the mix throughout his career. You can say the last year or two doesn't count, but throughout his career, wherever he was, they were in the mix, and whatever the lineup is would adjust to him, and he would adjust to the lineup and what he needed to do to be successful. Mahomes is like that.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Shout out to the Chiefs, man. Pacheco, 2 years in the league, 2 rings. Like what a wonderful life. You know, it ain't even Christmas no more. You feel me? So, you know, shout out to him. Shout out to a lot of the players, man. So much, you know, so many interesting things going on with the team and the dynamics, you know, from the Chris Jones to the Pacheco thing I just mentioned to the fact that both Andy Reid said, yeah, why in the world would I not come back? And the people speculating to Kelsey saying the same thing. I saw Kelsey the other day. He said, now, if Andy said he was going to retire, then I probably was going to go too.
Yeah.
You know, so, but he ready to kind of come back and make this 3P happen. So if you go man for man with this particular team, and there's way more stories than this, former players used to play on the the Niners, things of that nature. This really might be one of the most interesting teams in the league, you know, man for man. So I'm just curious. What I do want to talk to, the last thing I really have, unless somebody jumps in the comments with something, is you just mentioned LeBron James.
Right? Yep.
So the reports came out a few days ago, and we found out during the trade deadline that the Golden State Warriors were trying to get LeBron James. And let's not get it twisted, folks. LeBron ain't contacted the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors contacted the Lakers to try to get LeBron James to go to Golden State. And of course, we find out Rich Paul came out quick like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. We'll stay here and, we'll see what happens. What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
I thought that was funny. It could have been something, does it make them well, I guess it depends on what Golden State would have had to give up in order to get LeBron. But it could have been interesting. I heard somebody say that, oh, LeBron and Steph wouldn't work together. Are you kidding?
Why not?
LeBron is going to kick the rock. Steph going
Yeah.
to run around and spot up and knock down the three. What do you think is going to happen?
All day.
Like, people would be saying wild stuff. But anyway, if it so happens that LeBron moves on next season, that's one of the landing spots that could be interesting for him. Also, you'd see Clay probably leaving Golden State and possibly going to the Lakers. Like, that's a possibility as well. So
I hear the Lakers, and I hear there's some Miami talk, which is also interesting because we found out supposedly the rumors were true that Miami was another team that supposedly did contact the Lakers. Nobody's talking about it, but they did contact the Lakers as well, from what we're hearing. That about LeBron too.
Interesting. Yeah, he don't want to do that. No way. It'll look bad on him because whatever happens, anything he leaves, like whether it's his fault, his choice. I mean, it's obviously gonna be his choice because his contract deems him the final say so if he's going somewhere. It'll just be looked at negatively. I mean, if people look at it negative that he left a dire situation to go somewhere else, and then he went back to the original situation and still won a championship, and they still look at it negatively that he left the first time, then obviously they look at him leaving in the middle of the season as negative. Oh, he quit. Oh, he did, and they always compare it to, well, Michael Jordan didn't do this. So, yeah, like we're playing in the same time frame.
So what happens even next year is going to be something we want to see, because what I'm wondering is, is he really done? I don't want to use the word term like ring chasing, but like, is he done? Basically, is he I love LA, my son's still playing out here at USC, I'm content with where I am type, you know what I'm saying? Don't want to do anything major, because he knows that the second that he says that, yeah, I'm gonna go to Golden State, if he's going to Golden State in this deal, he's the one that's gonna catch all the heat and the blame, even though they're the ones that wanted him.
Yeah.
They said that and they said they even tried to get on the low people that Draymond know, because him and Draymond's cool, to try to talk to this man and convince him to take the sign off on the deal and come play with them.
Would that have even made them the favorite, though? Would it have made them the favorite in your mind?
I'll say this. I don't know if it made them the favorite, but if you paid attention to them recently, these couple of subtle changes they made, especially with Kuminga, they I don't know if they've been the favorite, but they've been playing all right, though.
I mean, is Kuminga not part of that deal?
He probably is. But
yeah.
I don't think they get any worse with LeBron coming, and if Kuminga has to go out.
Oh, yeah. Of course, they don't get worse. It'll just be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see.
One other interesting basketball thing, I think it's the last one I got, is anybody been paying attention to the Clippers?
To the Clippers? Clippers is
yes.
crazy. Clippers is crazy.
The Clippers are crazy good right now. And I love it because of all of the comments that were coming out initially when Harden got there, and how all of them are going to share the ball and how they're going to do this, and the chemistry doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the Clippers, now I don't want to discount the Thunder either. Shout out to my man AJ. They fun to watch. But the Clippers are out here handling business. They're a game out of second place right now. And the number one reason, if anybody's paying attention, is two of the people that we're used to getting hurt every year have been on the court a majority of the year. Now, Kawhi just went out recently, a couple of days ago, or whatever, and he didn't play, I think, the final game or two before the All-Star break. But if you take into it, so how many games did they play? Was it 58, right? I think it's 58 games. They played. Or
They
54.
played 58.
How many games they played before? It says 28 games left. Yeah,
It's 54.
54 games. 54 games. 54 games. Do you know how many games that Kawhi has played this year?
53.
No, he's played 48. This Kawhi we talking about.
No, I knew he hadn't missed many games. I thought he hadn't missed any games
No,
until
no. So he's played in 48 games. You have to keep in mind he just missed the last game, maybe 2 games before the All-Star break. But he's been on the court. The same Kawhi we know. We're just waiting to hear the report that something happened. This is something else that's just as good. Who else on that team is always highly injury prone?
Harden.
Mm-mm.
Not PG. We're not talking about PG.
PG.
With the knee. PG with the foot, the leg.
He had the foot. It's always something. The foot. He's had the shoulder. He's always someone you look to miss games during the season. Do you know how many games he's played this year? I don't want to jinx it. He played in 50 games. Yeah. So they're riding high right now. If they find a way to keep all of these guys healthy, they are going to be a problem when we get into these playoffs. They are going to be a problem, especially with all the whispers of whether or not PG is going to be there next year, because the whispers are coming out now that they believe that Indiana is going to try to make a move to bring him back home. And the more I think about it, I ain't trying to see it because they're in the East. I know Cuzzo would love it. Jay would love it. But yeah. I think I could really see him and Tyrese playing together. I really could.
That could be a problem.
Yeah, that would be a problem. They fit well. Their games fit well together. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Because everybody was talking about. We were talking about Embiid and his injury situation, and everybody was focusing on that before he got hurt, and focusing on him being out of the MVP stuff and all that. But nobody was talking about the Clippers. And I started to make that comment back then. I said, now I'm going to make this comment. And then watch one of these brothers are going to get hurt. And I spoke too soon. So I said, I'm going to wait till the All-Star break. Yeah, but nobody's paying attention to it. But yeah, 48 games so far for Kawhi and 50 for PG. So they can hold up for these next 28.
I like it.
Yeah, so that's all I got, man. Just wanted to get something in for the people, something to do. We just throw the topics out there, talk about a lot of them as they came to mind. You got anything we should slide in? You want to slide in?
No, not really, man. No, I got nothing.
Did you finish? Well, last thing I'm going to ask you then. Did you get a chance? Well, two quick things. One, did you finish the Run DMC doc?
Oh yeah. That was good. And I see why you felt emotional during that joint. I could see that easily. It was multiple times. Yeah. So it was good though.
The Kings from Queens, man. The Kings from Queens. Hip hop lovers, especially your old school cats. If you haven't seen it yet, hop on over to Peacock, check it out. It's 3 parts to it. Well worth the watch. Even if you're not an old school hip hop head, but you tend to to dabble in the culture from back then, it's worth the watch. Really good. Did a really good job with it.
Agreed.
All right. Last thing. Are you watching Raising Kanan?
Of course. I finished it.
Right. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, it ain't our fault if you in here and you ain't watched it already, because you caught up to the
yeah. I watched all of them.
All right, so we're about to spoil the end. I want to ask Source a question, so you can hop off now, stay in it. 2 things. One, did you think Neek was dead? And 2, are you surprised that Ronnie got cooked just in 1 season?
Good question. I I wasn't 100% convinced Neek was dead, but
Uh-huh.
because they never showed him dead, they just showed him supposedly killed and then rolled downhill. But nobody ever found him dead. Nobody ever said he was actually dead. But I never really thought about it after the next episode. After that, I
Uh-huh.
never really thought about if he was alive or dead anymore. I just, it just left my mind.
Right.
I think Ronnie served his purpose. Like, I think he could have stuck around, but he served his purpose. He was he was a big deal for the season. He made things pop. Like he wasn't the lead character, but he was definitely in the running of most important characters. That's the way Ronnie. Oh, Ronnie. No, right. Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
just smacked him in the head a whole bunch of times with whatever he hit him with, crowbar, not crowbar, I forgot what it was, but yeah. It wasn't even a couple times. It was a lot of times. It was a lot. But
Mhm.
the fact that he was able to carry him to wherever, drop him off, and I guess he didn't appear to be alive to Ronnie. I mean, if you thought he was dead, you would think he was dead. But no, nah. And yeah, I think, like I said, Ronnie served his purpose. He did his thing. He kind of took the lead uh, in the moment for Neek not being there. But with Neek coming back, it's just the question of how is he gonna be as he comes back? Is he gonna be like ruthless because because he what he just went through, or if he's going to be on the side of Rock, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he's gone. I I thought that Nick was probably still alive. I just didn't think that we would get him in the same season. You know what I'm
But
saying?
pop back up later.
It popped back up later, even though it was right at the end. I was thinking that something was going to happen maybe next season. You know, pop back up some kind of way. Like I always tell people, not that Neek was as big a character as Ghost, but when people talk about bringing Ghost back, if that was ever happen, and I said, well, there's only one way for me that you can really do it. And I said that if you're going to bring Ghost back, it has to be so quiet that nobody suspects it. Maybe Tyreek about to die, right? Tyreek about to die. He's running somewhere. He on the run. He got some people coming after him. He looked like it's about to be over for him, and out of nowhere, he runs past an alley or something. And somebody just grabs him. You don't see who the person is. You know what I'm saying? Comes out, grabs him, tucks him away. The people run past, whatever. And you don't know who it is because you can't see the person. And then as things clear out, as he turn around and look, and he comes out of the shadows, it's Ghost, right? It's got to be something that you don't see coming. And then they leave us on a cliffhanger and probably make us all mad because it'd be the season finale. We didn't see his face. I got you, shh, whatever.
Right.
And he look up and Reek's face like, what the, oh my. And then we mad because we got to wait a whole season to find out everything. That's the only way you can do it. I didn't think that Neek was really dead, and I thought when they bring Neek back, I thought it was gonna be something more dramatic. I thought it would be like next season maybe, or something like that. And it turns out that somebody else's back is against the wall in this joint. Maybe it's Rock. Maybe it's the time we think, because we thinking at some point that Rock is probably gonna get killed before this thing is over with, right? So we think.
Yeah. For the show.
Well, we think because if you go back to Power, remember when Kanan first we touched base and then he was talking to Ghost, and then remember he made the comment. He's like, where you been? And he was like, oh, I went to stop and visit to see my mom's. And the visit can mean anything if you go to Power. He could have went and visited the gravesite. You know what I'm saying? He could have went and done whatever. But we don't know if she really was still alive, but we're thinking that at some point or another, because the people that we love got to pass away on these shows, right?
Right.
So maybe looks like we think, oh, this is the episode. If she's gonna get it now, Rock is over, and then Nick end up being the one coming out and saving her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting, though. It was very interesting, but I think that season finale was crazy.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Good cliffhanger. So, all right. I think Rock knew he was still alive. I don't know about that.
She don't know now.
She about to find out if she did. No doubt. But yeah, man, it was fun. It was fun tapping in with you folks. Appreciate y'all joining us with a live crowd today. And as always, and trust me, we have no football. And while Source and I we'll probably take some, a week off here, a week off there, maybe a couple of weeks. Be rest assured, though, we'll have more of these. We'll just talk about whatever. We got plenty of time to do movies on Run It Back. And, of course, if any of you were on the show earlier heard me talking to G Money, we got Know the Ledge. Well, we got some plans for that. So we're going to have some things to do over these next few months that we don't have any football.
Yeah.
So it might not be every week, but you're going to see it. So it is what it is. But till next time, we about here. Peace.